All right. Hey, occasionally we get some emails here on the Boris and Robin Show. We like to save them up for a segment we call Frequently Asked Questions.
Frequently asked questions for the Boris and Robin Show on WPDH. They'll have answers to your questions.
Questions like, are you for real with these theme songs? All right. So this is an intriguing question that we got, and I'm going to read this just because this is fascinating. This is from Tim P. Who's writing this. He says, this was directed to me, Robin. Says, hey, Boris, I have a serious question for you. I've been a listener of your show for a long time and always wonder how you get away with pissing so many people off.
Get away.
And I mean that in a good way. You've always spoken your mind and in the process have probably made people you see every day angry because of it. For example, I heard you going off about the class pictures at your son's school and can't help but wonder how awkward your next parent-teacher conference might be. Robin always seems to be politically correct about stuff, but you don't sound like you give a bleep. Is that just an act, or do you really not care? Just asking, because I hate confrontation and don't think I'd be able to speak my mind so publicly like you do, Tim. All right. Well, Tim, thank you for the letter, first of all. I'm intrigued by this letter because it makes it sound like that, I'm like some sort of shock jock or something, like I'm getting on the air every day trying to upset people, which is very far from what we do. I don't think I do that on purpose, and I don't think I upset people all that often. But I think sometimes we just talk about stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm a very honest person. I've always been that to a fault in my personal life too. I always just speak my mind, and I don't really care if it upsets people. Well, actually, I do care if it upsets them. I don't try to upset people. And I'm usually surprised when people are upset when I say stuff, because I just assume because I don't mind. Like, if people are honest with me and truly honest and they disagree with me or don't like something I'm doing, that never upsets me. So I'm assuming everybody else is like that. But what I've learned through the years is that people do not like it when you're honest. Lots of times.
Well, I don't like this letter.
Why?
I take offense to
it. Why are you taking offense to the letter?
Because it's not necessarily that I'm politically correct.
Well,
that I don't care that much about anything.
You always preface everything you say with, now, please don't get upset with me. Because
I don't want to offend people.
Now, here's the interesting thing. So, he brought up the class pictures thing that, I was upset that they sent home all these pictures of my son that I didn't ask for, and they wanted me to pay for them or send them back.
Right.
And that's just an honest gripe that I have. I don't try to make it personal. I'm not upset at the school or anybody.
I actually agree with your gripe, too.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people called up and agreed. And, if they're upset with me saying that, I would say that to them at the PTA meeting. I would say that to the teachers during the parent-teacher meeting. So that doesn't upset me.
I was actually going to suggest you bring it up. But
yeah, I did. I did. I actually emailed the PTA about it, and that's fine. And so I don't mind that kind of stuff. So if somebody's going to get bent out of shape out of something I really feel, that's fine. And I would never say something on the air that I didn't really feel anyway.
Right.
But here's the thing that really bothers me, and this happens a lot, and I'm always surprised by it, when people get angry at me for something that I say that I believe is complimentary. And this happens all the time. Like, if you mention something on the air, people get upset. For example, there was a deli that closed down. That I used to go to all the time, and I love this deli. I was so upset that they closed down. So I wrote an article up at WPDH.com, and I think the title was "Beloved Deli Closes." And we talked about it on the air. I'm like, I went for my turkey sandwich, and they closed down. I was all bummed out. This guy calls me up, all angry. So, I can't believe that you're saying terrible things about me. I'm like, what terrible things did I say about you? I said I loved the deli, and I showed up, and it was closed, and I was very sad. It's like, well, I have people that I know in the community, and I don't want them to know that I closed down my deli.
Well, they're going to find out.
I'm like, you're closed. I don't understand. But so he got all upset, and I thought it was like a nice thing. The worst one, though, was the St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'm a big fan of the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Yeah, you are.
And so this year we talked about all the drunken fights and stuff that had happened at the parade. And I thought that I was the hero of the Wappingers Parade when I showed up this year because, we had this whole conversation about how much I love the parade. And we were encouraging people not to, be violent at the parade and get so drunk that they were making fools out of themselves. It's supposed to be for the families and for the kids. When, the people that plan the parade, they work hard on it all year long. So, we did this whole big thing about, hoping that people wouldn't ruin the parade this year. So I show up to the parade thinking in my mind that I am the hero of the Wappingers Falls St.
Right.
Patrick's Day Parade.
You saved the parade.
I'm like, they're going to love me because I've been talking about how much I love this parade. And I'm encouraging people to be responsible when they're drinking. This is going to be great. I show up with my son, and we're in the WPDH truck. So we're in the parade. The parade starts, and this woman walks over. She's like, "Are you Boris from WPDH?" Like, all angry at me. I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm the director of the parade," like the woman in charge of the parade. I'm like, "Oh," so I'm thinking, "Oh, she's going to give me an award or something for saying such nice things about the parade." No, I heard you saying terrible things about our parade. So I'm like, "Oh, this is not going as I as I thought." And my son is with me, and she's like, and like the parade is like started, so there's people standing around, and this woman is like yelling at me. So I'm like, "Well, what terrible things?" I was saying wonderful things about the parade. She's like, "Oh, that's not what I heard."
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, "But I don't know what you heard, but I put an article up on the website." She's like, "Oh, I read it."
Oh, she read the article?
But I'm like, "I don't understand why you're angry at me. I'm on your team. We're trying to get people not to, ruin your parade by, getting in a fight." She's like, "Oh, well, I don't know." And like, so I'm having this awkward conversation with her, and like, I thought I was doing a good thing,
Boris,
but she got angry at me.
You were doing a good thing because you know what? The only fight at this year's parade was the one you had with that woman.
I know, in front of my son. So my son is there, and he's so confused. He's like, "Daddy, I thought I'm like, I don't know." So then she goes, "Well, I'll tell you what, we'll call a truce." I'm like, "There's no truce. I'm not angry at you." You're yelling at me.
Wow.
So I've just learned a long time ago that no matter what I say on the air, people are going to either get agree with me or they're going to get angry. I really don't care. So thank you for the letter, Tim.
Yes, Tim P.
Tim P. So I appreciate it.
He's probably mad at you for some reason now.
I can't believe you read my letter on the air.